When Donald Trump started running, the first time he said, "Make America Great Again," right before he said it, he said, "The American dream is dead." That was a statement that resonated. And this surprised me. In 2015, the economy was pretty good. Things seemed to be on the upswing. The American dream did not seem dead from my perch as a college-educated professional in Washington, D.C. And as I looked out there in the country and started to ask people, why do you think the American dream is dead? I expected them to give answers maybe about immigration, maybe about factories closing. But the answers I got were about, well, when I was a kid, we used to march down Main Street on Memorial Day, and we'd plant flags on the hill of the fallen soldiers from our hometown. The answers I was getting were more and more about a lost sense of belonging and connection. And I suddenly realized that these ideas that sounded to me was into policy and that kind of thing, like a little airy or insignificant or just kind of sentimental, that they really seemed to matter and that they were moving politics. And so something was wrong underneath the surface of our culture that I didn't understand. J.D. Vance said about people who he met in law school that connection was the air that they breathed. They didn't notice it was there. And so, I was raised in a little league where I was playing against the same kids for years. I went to college and I kept in touch with all my friends. I lived in D.C. with a tight-knit circle of young conservative writers and activists. And that for a lot of America, when the factory closed down, it wasn't just a factory. It was also the coffee shop where the workers went. And then the church closed down. My work as a political reporter actually pointed me towards a problem that isn't exactly political in the sense we normally use it, which is that human connection and belonging was falling apart. So when I wrote Alienated America, it was a great journey because I started with an open-ended question: why do people think the American dream is dead? And I landed somewhere I didn't think I would land, which is, again, not the shuttered factory so much as the shuttered church. For the American middle class and working class, the main institution of civil society has always been the church. And so as Americans have moved away from organized religion, they haven't replaced the church with any other sort of regular weekly gathering where they're asked to think about something bigger than themselves. They've often retreated. It makes us not even realize the importance of connection. Because we think, wait a second, I can get my coffee from a coffee maker. Why do I need a coffee shop? Amazon can deliver the stuff. Why should I need to go to the store? I can find a significant other on a dating app. Why should I need to go out and socialize? And we see pretty clearly that that's an impoverished life, is the life without the constant daily connection. The average person does not and never will have a significant influence on Washington, D.C. The average person used to and can have a significant influence on their local community. But the less we're involved in the local community, the more we feel like, oh, I have no control over the world around me. And that leads to, that's what Occupy Wall Street, that's what Bernie Sanders is. A lot of the Trump support was people who said, I feel totally disenfranchised, because they found it harder to plug into their community.